Why in the world are we talking about New Year's Day on November the 29th? We'll get into that here in just a moment. Hello everyone, semi-retired Bob here. I talk about the proper human diet, all things related to the proper human diet, and miscellaneous odds and ends. Today we're going to talk about a very popular topic that will be coming up here in a month from now, which is New Year's resolutions. First off, for those of you new to the channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You might be asking yourself, what in the world am I watching? Who's this crazy old man in a Santa hat walking up and down the street? Well, 18 and a half months ago, I started a carnivore diet. At that time, I could not stand for more than 2.5 minutes without severe pain. Now I'm out here walking up and down the street every day. So why don't you help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life with a proper human diet? Hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe. It's absolutely free. Drop down in the comments and say, hi, Bob. All those little things that are absolutely free help me get the word out that it's never too late to change your life. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. It does mean an awful lot that you choose to spend just a moment or two of your day with me every day. But let's go ahead and jump right on into this thing. As we all know, everybody, or a large majority of people, say this is the year. My New Year's resolution is to get healthier. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to start going to the gym. You do all these things. Some of you even go out and buy an expensive gym membership. And then what happens? You get really motivated. And because, I go to the Y. I've seen this firsthand. Right after the first of the year, it's hard to get on machines or even into the swimming pool at the Y. Because everybody is going to the gym in January. By February, you notice the crowds are getting thinner and not the way we want as far as their body, but the actual number of people is going down. And then by the middle of March, it's back to the way it was before the first of the year happened. Why do so many people fail on their New Year's resolutions to get healthier? Because they don't properly prepare. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. I do see several comments on a pretty daily basis like, Bob, you really make a lot of sense. We're planning on starting our carnivore diet on January the 2nd. And I'm okay with that. That's great. But let's start preparing now. It's the 29th of November, so you've got about 4 weeks to get ready. You don't have to cancel Christmas. You can go ahead and eat whatever you want to eat at Christmas time on Christmas Day. But start now in lowering your carbohydrate intake. Start the slow process of transitioning now. Because I don't think that the one bad day at Christmas and then a week later a New Year's Eve or a New Year's Day party, that's not going to completely derail your transition. It may slow it down a little bit, but it's not going to completely derail your transition. And it's more of a mindset. You're saying, yes, I'm going to do this thing. So start this week and just don't necessarily cut out the rice and the pasta, but cut back and start adding a little more fatty meat. And then next week, instead of having cereal for breakfast, have bacon and eggs. In the transition period, it's okay to have a little toast with that if you like toast. But slowly start cutting the carbohydrates down and increasing the fatty red meat. You've got, about 3 weeks to Christmas. Or is it 4? I think it's 4 weeks to Christmas yet. But, you've got some time to get going. Get your transition started today. And if you start the transition, you'll start to have a mindset shift that I really am going to do this. I'm going to stick with it this time. Everything's going to get better for me. And I think starting today, even if you don't get a lot of the transition done between now and New Year's, if you start doing the mental shifting now to where this is what I'm going to eat, this is why I'm going to eat it, then you'll more than likely be more successful this year than you have in past years. And if you start now, you'll be 30 days ahead of the game versus all those other people that are going to start it on January the 2nd. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with having a plan to say I'm going to start on January the 2nd. But if you're really considering starting in January, why not start the transition process now? Like I said, I don't think that one day of Christmas, the New Year's parties are going to completely derail you. Now, if you have a lot of Christmas leftovers, you might not want to snack on all the cookies and candies and cakes and stuff for the entire week between Christmas and New Year. I wouldn't do that. But go ahead and allow yourself to have whatever treats you normally have on Christmas Day. Maybe even make it a 2-day event, Christmas Eve into Christmas, and then get rid of a little bit of the leftovers the next morning. But continue, other than those days, continue lowering your carbohydrate intake and raising your fatty meat intake so that come January the 2nd, you're mostly converted. You might still have to do a week or so of transition, but you'll have most of the transition work done by the time the new year gets here. I saw an interesting quote. I wish I could remember who said it, because I like to give people credit when I hear something I like. But it's a different way of looking at your why. Why are you doing this? And like I said, I don't even remember if it was a guy or a gal, but they were talking about your why, and they said you have to balance what you want now versus what you want long term. Do you want to be healthier 6 months from now more than you want that piece of pumpkin pie today? That's something you have to think about for yourself. Now, if you decide you really want that piece of pumpkin pie, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just understanding what it takes to get to your long-term goals is a pretty important thing for long-term success. And that's what we're in this for. We're in this proper human diet for the long term. We're not, doing this for a quick 15 or 20 pounds of weight loss. We're doing this for better overall health. And that starts with a proper human diet. So start today. Start planning for your New Year's today. That's what I've got for you today, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little video. Don't forget, get out there, be 1% better. Today, tomorrow, every day. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you in the next one.